doing it and, continuing it on with songs that were written by them. So basically, ultimately, all that struggle made me just kind of go into my basement studio and just lock myself in there for pretty much a year.
Right.
And I wrote about 50 songs, and out of those 50 is this new record, So, but ultimately, I'm really, really glad that I did that.
Yeah.
Because I think that the one that I created is a lot better than the one that was created before.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, obviously, coming back to your the band's your first love and life and whatnot, is that one of the reasons why you have the tattoo in the name of the band? Because that's how much belief you have in the band.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. I got my first tattoo when I was like 26 or 27.
Yeah.
And it was when we went gold.
Yeah.
And it was like, I grew up in an old school family, Portuguese, that type of family.
Yeah.
They thought I was going to hell for sure just because I had that tattoo. But to me, like, when I got it, it was more of a kind of a badge of accomplishment that I had created because it was something that I've been working for my whole life.
Yeah.
And, to get a gold record to me was, like, insane, I never expected what happened to happen, I
You're
knew
right.
that it was good, but, there's a little bit of luck involved in everything along with, good writing and everything, but, when I got that, I was like, all right, I want to mark this on my body because it really ultimately, music does define me and it is what I've done for my whole life,
Right.
I don't remember having another job. I mean, I remember having another job, but I don't remember how it feels to have another job,
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, that's where the song Down and Out came from, which was like, everybody quit, everybody was giving up, everything was done, and to me, I knew that we had a band that was really good, and I knew that I could write another record, and I was just, I didn't know what was going to happen, but I knew that I was going to, try or die trying to do it, and ultimately, pain makes you interesting, or a struggle makes you interesting, or makes you at least write cool shit,
Yeah.
And I think that's where this record came from, which is kind of like pretty much like a storyline to my life.
Gotcha.
In 2006.
Okay. Now, going to the modern rock era right now, what would you say are some of your more favorite kind of modern, quote-unquote, active rock bands that you're into today?
I mean, I'm more of a fan of songs than I am of bands.
Okay.
But, to me, what I think is that, when you do this thing, you get your first initial deal and whatever, I think that it's very easy for bands to start losing their, individualistic qualities.
Yeah.
To do stuff that is like, all right, well, this is what's selling. Let's create something for radio, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And there's a lot of great songs out there. I mean, I think that Singer 11 song is just like a smash. And, that's a band to me that keeps on reinventing themselves.
And that you're talking about Paralyzer.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
That's a band. I mean, I think they toured with us like years and years ago. But that's a band that a lot of people kind of like, thought was dead, and they just keep on reinventing themselves. But, I think that why that song is doing really well is that it's just not about, heavy guitar and minor chords and people complaining about that, whatever, they're complaining. But aside from that, I think that, what I wanted to do and I think that I had to do was, to me, I was like, I really had nothing to lose at that point. So I was just like, all right, well, let me do the selfish, whatever I want to do. And ultimately, I think that the way that it came out with the help of our producer and my fellow bandmates is that we created something that was still rock and was still heavy and was still tantric, but it had that little twist to it,
Yeah.
And it's really cool to be in a band with, a violin player that's like, a trained musician, and like a guitar player is a Berkeley graduate,
Right.
So it gives you a lot more colors for you to pick from as you're arranging your songs,
Okay. This will be the last question for you. Now, I think you kind of answered it, but from what I've gathered, there's still no real specific reason why Ted left the band. Is it just he just got kind of disgruntled, as you said, with the way the direction of things were going, or was there anything else that you know of? Or?
I think, first of all, I'll say that I think that Todd is one of the most brilliant musicians, and Matt are one of the most. Both of them are really incredible at what they do.
Yeah.
But I think that they've been doing it for a long time, and I think that, it just got to the point where the bullshit was just so much that they were just like, screw this. I mean, I don't even give a shit anymore. I just want to, take care of my family.
Yeah.
And, go back to the things that are really important and consistent. And I think it was just a frustration mixed with everything, And, one day I was like, at my parents' house, and Todd called me and was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And then Matt was like, I'm going to do my own thing. So I wish, part of me wishes they had stayed around, because obviously, I love the guys, I always will. That's very incredible. But when the new stuff got to start getting formed and everything, it was so refreshing to me, And the fact that, I worked so hard knowing that, nothing might ever come out of it.
Yeah.
Something